Look how many likes she's got already. You good, girl. She's got a lot of followers, too. Ooh. Damn, they taking another vacation already? Okay, y'all, go on now. Oh, I got another like. Ooh. But it's only been like 10 likes. I dropped this post like an hour already. I need to step my game up. Do you realize how many of your thoughts and feelings are influenced by social media or the media in general? Hi, my name is Nadiria John. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and the owner of North Node Therapy, where we provide culturally competent mental health services. During my day-to-day practice, I work with a lot of adult clients that are struggling with depression and anxiety, or just working through some life issues. As a social worker, I have been trained to take a biopsychosocial approach to mental health, which is a really fancy way of saying I've been trained to take a holistic approach to mental health and look at the entire person and everything that they have going on in their life, biologically, socially, emotionally, and then help my client figure out what they can do to improve their mental health. During my day-to-day work with clients, I tend to help my clients explore the various areas of their life and lifestyle choices that impact their mental health. And I notice a trend that a lot of clients tend to place a lot of emphasis on their relationships and how that impacts their mental health. Clients tend to focus on their familial relationships, their platonic relationships, and as you could imagine, their romantic relationships. And I noticed that a lot of clients tend to underestimate how their use of social media and the information that they ingest on a day-to-day basis, how that impacts their mental health, their thinking, their feelings, and their views on the world overall. And it's not just social media. It's all the information that we choose to ingest on a day-to-day basis, whether it be the news, the books that we read, the music that we listen to, or the institutions that we're a part of, like school and church, and how they shape our mind. It's also the conversations that we have with the people that are in our lives. All of that information shapes the way we see the world and also impacts the way we see ourselves. Let's take, for example, social media and some of the pages that we follow and how it makes us feel. Right? You might notice that you follow some pages on social media where people are showing off a lot of the highlights of their lives, the wonderful cars that they bought, the fabulous vacation that they took. I notice a trend where people are having these very grand proposals on social media and just highlights with friends and just all the wonderful things that are happening in their lives. You want to ask yourself, how does watching all of this stuff day to day, the same people sharing the wonderful things that are happening in their lives, how does that make you feel? Because a lot of times when I explore that with clients, they'll say that they then question their lives. And is their lives fabulous enough? And why is it that all of these people who are the same, that are in the same age group as them, tend to just be doing so much more grand things and they're not doing it, and it actually makes them feel inadequate or feel like something's just not right about their lives, like they're just not winning enough. Or you might notice that you watch television shows like Snapped and Criminal Mind, right? That's based on some reality, but it also shares some really scary and disturbing content. And when I explore that with clients, they might realize that the feeling that comes with watching shows like that is a lot of fear. A lot of fear to go out and meet new people, especially for single people, right? There's a lot of fear about, oh my God, suppose I start dating and I run into that person that's going to kill me for life insurance money. And it really becomes a serious fear and a hindrance in their life. Or you might notice that you are listening to music or following some social media pages that actually bring about some positive feelings and share some uplifting information that inspires you. The point is that you want to assess the content and the information that you are ingesting on a day-to-day basis and ask yourself, how does this information make me feel? Right? You want to start to explore that and ask yourself a few questions. What are the thoughts that shows up for me? when I ingest this information? What are the feelings that show up for me when I ingest this information? How does this information influence my behavior? And when I look at this information in comparison to my life goals, does this information bring me any closer to my life goals? So for example, I made the reference of Snapped. If I'm watching Snapped and I'm a single woman and I want to start dating and I want to find love, and I realize that this show scares me and puts me in a position where I don't want to meet people, then chances are watching shows like Snapped is taking me further away from my life goals and not bringing me closer. And then I have to make a conscious decision. Should I continue to ingest this information on a day-to-day basis? Is this serving me? And if after following or listening to some information from your favorite relationship social media guru, you find yourself feeling frustrated in your relationship or just feeling bad about yourself or feeling inadequate, you want to ask yourself those questions. How is this information influencing my thoughts? How is this person or this information influencing the way I feel about myself and the world, right? How is this information impacting my behaviors going forward? Is it bringing me closer to my goals or taking me further away? And if you don't like the answers, you want to consider unfollowing that person or at least muting them. Same thing goes for the music that we listen to, right? There's a lot of music out there that the melodies are beautiful and the instrumental out there is wonderful and it's something nice to jam to and to dance to. But if we really listen to the lyrics, sometimes it's a beautiful melody, but the information, it's not really what you want. They're singing about negative behavior and just putting a beautiful beat to it. And again, you want to really ask yourself, is this the type of information and the type of song that I want to be listening to and having influence my thoughts? And again, you want to consider removing that information from your playlist or not listening to it anymore. And remember, all of the information that you ingest influences you. So you want to do a deep dive into all of the information that you internalize on a day-to-day basis and ask yourself those 4 questions, right? When we're looking at the books that we read and the music that we listen to, the television shows that we watch, the social media content, whatever it is, we want to ask ourselves those 4 questions that I mentioned earlier. How does this information impact my thinking? How does it impact the way I feel about myself and the world? How does this information impact my behavior? And I think also the big one is, how does this information move me towards my goal? Does it get me closer to my goal or does it take me further away? And if the answer is no, then you want to consider shaking things up a little bit. You want to consider what you need to let go of. If you are having a difficult time, exploring these areas of your life by yourself, then this is information that you might want to bring up to your therapist, right? This is a topic that you might want to bring up to your therapist if they haven't already brought it up to you and say, hey, I want to explore these areas of my life. I want to look at how some of these things might be influencing me and my thinking. And I want to just figure out what lifestyle changes I need to make so that I can improve my mood, so that I can be, move closer to my better self. Okay, I hope that you found this information helpful, and like and follow for more. And I'll be back to share more information on, improving your mental health overall. Bye for now.